Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Since we do not have many people here on this timing, because I know most of the timing is different, so what I will do is there are just one khayshum is very small, and you just have the two lips left and the tip of the tongue left. So I can complete it in say another 10 minutes if that is fine, or if you want we can do one page and end the session. Just let me know whichever is suitable. I will continue because for me I would prefer taking the 10 minutes and completing it, and the chapter will be over so that we can use up that extra one session for revising the sounds. Okay, so we were on huruf nata'iyya. Again we are on the tip of the tongue. From the tip of the tongue we have done two parts now, which is the noon and the ra, which is they have the same place but which is slightly below the lam. The only difference, noon is using only the tip, ra is using tip and the top. Huruf nat'iyya, they are coming from the top part of the tip of the tongue. Okay, so you will not have, yes, okay, I'll complete the chapter. So you will not have the tip, but you will be using the top area here. For which letters? Ta, dal and ta. Now the way to learn all of these sounds is to pictorial representation, because when you have reading from books and all, it's more better you have it in picture form. So that is why I will post the pictures so that we understand completely and exactly where this is touching. And inshallah in the book of Sheikh Ayman Suwaid, he has for each alphabet one photograph. So I will be posting one by one those, so please go through them. It will help you in learning the alphabets. So the top of the tongue, where you will touch, again the gum line of the two top incisors, the gum line, so which is the joining part of your front two teeth and the gum of that, which to the top upper jaw. So the top part of the tip you will touch and you will say at, out and ed, all three same place. There is difference in the characters which we'll know when we come to the sifat, but the place from where the sound comes is exactly the same, the top of the tip and the gum line of the front two teeth. Again, when you're touching the teeth, you will touch the upper teeth, not the lower teeth. Why are they known as nat'iyya? Because they are more close to the elevated area above the gums. Now when you touch just touch teeth with the tip of your tongue and go back slowly. Keep the tongue touched, don't remove the tongue down, keep it touched and just slide your tongue across. You will see that just after your teeth you have some slight flat area, and then the curve of your roof of the mouth starts. So it is more close to that elevated area, that flat area which you get, it is over there. Then huruf safir or huruf asaliyya. Why are they known as safir? Safir is like a whistling sound or the sound of animals. Here you have sad, zai and sin. Again all these three have the same place from where the sound comes, which is the tip of the tongue you use. And where will you touch it? When you touch both of your teeth together, like when you have to brush your teeth, you say E and you touch both of the upper and lower jaws. So the top two incisors and bottom two incisors, in between the plates of these is where you will touch, but more towards the top side and little less towards the lower side. So more focus on the upper side, and you will say S, 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 S. So all same place. A small space will be left between the tongue and your teeth, the incisors, when you pronounce them. So it's not you're completely touching the teeth, not S, S. If you touch S, the sound stops. It's not completely touching. There is one very tiny small space left between the tongue and the incisors when you touch them. S. So that's how the sound will come. This is called asaliyya because they come from the tip of the tongue. And again Imam al-Jazari's poem is mentioned here for these letters. Now we come again, we are still on the tip of tongue. We come to huruf lithawiyya, which is dha, dhal and tha. Now again these three letters have the same letters. How will you say? Will use the tip of the tongue, and from the tip you have to use the top side. What you will do is from the top two incisors, the front two teeth on upper jaw. Okay, the bottom edges, like from where you cut an apple, it is the edges touch, like how the edge of knife touches the apple while you're cutting. Same way your edges touch the apple. So those edges, the bottom edge, the upper teeth, the edges below the teeth, that bottom edge of the teeth you're supposed to touch. That means the top of the tip you will touch. So that means that your tongue is slightly going to come out, because for all the letters your tongue was inside, it was behind the teeth. But over here, since it has to touch the edges of the teeth, your tongue is going to come out slightly. So literally S. It is not S, it is S. So your tongue has to come out slightly. S. Whereas Zai was as, it was touching behind, in between the edges of both the teeth. As. And this is Zal. As. So there is a difference in the sound. As has a buzzing sound, whereas this doesn't have. Zal doesn't have a buzzing sound. Now it is called Thawiya because the point is somewhat close to the gums. Then this finishes the makhraj point of the tongue. So let us see in the tongue how many did we do. We did 4 main areas. One was the deepest part of the tongue, that you had 2 letters. Okay, so one area on the tongue, 2 letters. Then you did middle part of the tongue, so that's second area. So counting the area on my left finger, so I have 2 over here, 2 areas, and on my right hand I have 2 letters. Middle of the tongue you have 3 letters, Jim, Sheen and Ye. Ash, Edge, A, Ye, Yi, U. So I have 3 and previous 2, Qaf and Kaf. So that's 5 letters I finished. Then you have the third. So on my left hand I have now third area, which is the side of the tongue, and I have 2 letters. So I had already 5 letters on my right side. Now you have Dod and Lam. So that's 7 letters. Then from the tip of the tongue I have Noon and Ra, just close to Lam. So that's 7 plus 2, 9 letters. Then you have Qa, Dal and Ta, 10, 11 and 12. Sod, Zai, Sin, 13, 14, 15. Dha, Zal and Tha, 16, 17, 18. So these are the 18 letters. You need to keep looking at the diagram, and then after that, once everything is fit on your mind, pick up one area and you need to keep practicing pronouncing it. Now for Shafat and the 2 lips, you have 2 articulation points here, which is either use both the lips or you use only one lip. When do you use one lip? When you say the alphabet Fa. For alphabet Fa, you are not using the top lip. You are just using bottom lip, and that's not lip. A little inside of the lower lip. So you know the place where you put Vaseline on your lips? Vaseline, or some people may be putting lipstick as well. So that area, it's a little bit inside of the lower lip. So there, what will happen is the tip of the front 2 teeth, the incisors, the front 2 teeth on top, the rabbit's teeth, the edges of that, the tip of that, you will touch inside the lower lip. And how do you know how to do it? Put a sukun on the letter. So you will say F, F. And that is what is the makhraj point of Fa. Fa, Fi, Fu. So if you're not exactly touching this place, your alphabet Fa is not proper. The edges of the teeth are that you're going to touch the bottom lip inside one lip. That's one makhraj, one letter. Other makhraj in lips is use both the lips. And both lips. One is for the unlengthened wow. Why unlengthened? Meaning it's not maddiya wow. The maddiya wow is oo, which uses the jaw, the empty space in the mouth and the throat. Ooh. This is not that. It's with a haraka, like where, we, woo. So for saying wow, you have to use both lips. And how you form a circle with the 2 lips, and the 2 lips should not meet completely. The 2 lips are not going to meet completely, but you will form a circle of both the lips. And the other letter is meme. How do you say meme? Just close the lips together. That's it. And ba is you close the lips together, but it's a stronger closing than the meme. For meme, it's just but for ba, it is a little more stronger closing. Ab. So if you notice clearly, a little bit inside portion of your of your lips is just for ba, because you're closing it more tightly. So inside and a little bit of place where you put Vaseline. Is of ab. Ab is a little more tight closing. So that's the difference between meme and ba. Both are lips closing, but ba is a stronger closing. You always have to say it when I say the alphabet, only then you will learn, because it will not remember unless you yourself say it. So you'll say ab. So notice the difference. Ba, ma, ba. For ba you have to close more tightly. If you're not, you have to. That's the difference between the letters. And for wow, the lips don't touch each other. Ow, where. And if you're not putting pressure on your lips and using, that's not where. When you say where, that's not wow, it's where. You have to form a circle and say where. And the last makhraj is the khayshum. Khayshum is not the nose, but the hole in the nose that continues back towards the mouth. The sound that comes from here is known as ghunna. And there is no influence from the tongue. As you can see, when you close your nose and say an or am, that you'll feel some blockage, something trying to push out of your nose, something blocking it. So that sound is the sound of ghunna. Now the letters, alphabets, this is not actually the makhraj or the sound of the alphabet, but this is a characteristic which is associated with those letters. The letters are not actually coming from these places. The letters have their own points. For ghunna, there are only two alphabets that have this ghunna sound. And how do you know? This is your homework for today's session. Just note it down. What you need to do is you will close your nose and say all the alphabets, either the sukun or the shadda. That I leave to you. That choice I will give you. But every alphabet. Alif you will not say, of course, because alif you cannot pronounce. So you will start with ba. You will say ab, ab, ab. Either with sukun or shadda. That's your choice. But with every alphabet like this, ab, at. So all with their makhraj. If you don't know the makhraj, keep the book in front of you or write it down in your notebook so that you know which one is from where. Or write the alphabet in order, because you're going to get it in order. So write it in order and leave some space down so that you can write the makhraj point, or just tips for you to remember the makhraj point. And then close your nose and say, and let me know in the next session whether any more alphabets are there other than what I'll tell you now come out or that block your nose while reciting. Okay, so one is the noon. When I say and you can see it's not clear, but when I say n, now the sound is clear. Why? When I closed my nose, there was something blocking it. Again, when saying this, you have to do it or yourself also. Close your nose and say n, then close your nose and say m. So m, as I told you, mean makhraj is lips. Saying the meme, you're using your lips, but it is one characteristic of meme without which meme cannot be pronounced. So this is always there with meme. The ghunna is always there with meme. So that is why there is this point is mentioned. So ghunna is a characteristic. It's not an alphabet. Again, no, the noon sound we saw, noon is coming from the tip of your tongue, touching the gums, the front two incisors behind that, and that is the sound. So its nose is not place of the letter sound. And this ghunna is more prevalent when they have a shadda on noon meme, when there is a shadda. That is why whenever noon and meme have a shadda, we say you stress it for 2 counts. And also there is one more point mentioned here which we will cover the next chapter. Whenever there is ikhfa or iqlab, that time also ghunna is more noticeable. And for meme in the ikhfa, for again there are rules, and for me again there are various rules. So this we will come to know in that part. We will cover this sentence over there. So that is second chapter. So tips for the second chapter: each of the alphabets makhraj point you should know well. We have 5 main areas. In the 5 areas we have 17 makhraj points. From these 17 points, 28 alphabets would come out because left cannot be pronounced. So it's not 29 but 28 alphabets. There is makhraj can be divided into approximate or specific. Approximate are where the three mothers f, u, e, and that from jawf. This is the empty space in the mouth and throat. So that is one makhraj, one area, and one sound. Sorry, three madhiya sounds, no alphabet. It's just those three sounds, madhiya sounds. And a specific point will be like we saw for the others. We have a specific point that touch this part of tongue and touch this area, as I told, specifically. So that only you should know the makhraj specifically for those letters. How much area of the tongue, which part of the tongue, and from the tip. We saw in the tip we have many divisions. For the tip of tongue you have one is noon and ra, which is one set. Then there is another set of letters or dal and ta. There is another set sad, zai and sin. Set meaning all these three alphabets are having same makhraj. And then you have dha, dal and tha. So all these are from the tip of the tongue, but then what's the difference between them? Which one uses how much portion of the tip and which part of the teeth or the gums should it touch? So that you should know very clearly. Inshallah, I'll post the pictures with some small points over them. I will not post them all together because I can do that, but then I want that you all go through the picture and the notes and practice it. So once you learn, and then I will post the next one. So inshallah, just please go through all of those, and if you have any questions, or I can end the session here. See, makhraj will take time to practice. Try to get it perfect, because once you get makhraj proper, half or more than half of your recitation problems will go away. Rules are not that tough compared to makhraj. So you should, because you have to sound proper. We saw that lahan is a mistake. There is a mistake known as lahan jali, in which the meaning changes. So when you pronounce a ta as a or a qaf as a kaf, like when you recite qalb and kalb, the heart becomes dog and the dog becomes heart. So changing of the letter comes how? Because you do not know the sound of that letter. So you should know the letter and practice it well. In between, like every session from now, along with whichever chapter we're doing, I will give you more tips for the alphabet pronunciation as well, and makhraj we will keep revising because we need to know makhraj very well. So one, I'll be posting images and I'll be posting video sounds, and in our session going forward we will be practicing few of the makhraj which are little tough, which are easier. I wouldn't go through them, but if you want, you all can always let me know separately, message me if you all want me to listen and make sure it's proper. But this thing is, if you have in your local area some teacher or especially someone with ijaza who can correct you, then you should go and learn over there. You should go and learn face to face with the teacher. So I'll end the session here. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khair.